Good morning. I hope everybody is having a good Friday, and I hope you're having a good weekend planned. I'm pretty excited about being here. I always get excited when I think I get to talk to the AO members. I've seen so many of you grow, and so many of you are developing. So many of you are headed towards $1 million businesses. Some of you already have $1 million businesses. I think Sean is doing a super job. I mean, just a fantastic job with content and mentors and coaching. And anyway, that's my 2 cents worth, but let's go right to work, okay? Because everybody's busy. The first question is from Christopher Joseph, and he asks this: Do you have recommended books or resources for building up my inner salesman foundations? I have very little sales experience, if any at all. So the background is I'm building a software for streaming gaming industry, and I'm looking to pitch for letter of intent. I know it services a pain point, but I still have to be able to present and speak properly if I am to get a letter of intent for potential use. So resources for general sales, software sales, gaming entertainment sales, etc., or building myself up, public speaking and confidence, all are welcome. Thank you in advance. So Christopher, there are so many books out there, and I've been reading a lot myself. It seems like this year, I guess it's because I'm at home a lot, but the first book you should read is The Greatest Salesman in the World. This book is a foundational book for all salespeople. And the second book you should read is The Boxcar Millionaire. And in that book is a list of reading resources that I've used over the years that helped me grow my sales career. Another book that I've just recently read is, I'm looking on the floor, it's over there, Business Adventures. And this book was touted by Bill Gates as the best business book that he had read. And I think it gives some really good examples. And it was given to him by another billionaire who said it was the best business book that he had read. So anyway, that's probably a good one as well. I just finished Resilience. That's a book of stories about entrepreneurs and how they overcame adversity. And The Secrets of Closing Sales is still a top 10 sales book by Zig Ziglar. I reread it about a year ago, and some of it's dated obviously because of technology, but it still has good ideas about dealing with people and bringing them to a point of decision. But if you really want to get good in sales, you should hire a sales coach, and you should walk through a sales system for your business. So I hope that helps. We'll see if we can't get Sean to post a list of great sales books in the group. I'll make the list, okay? Next, Kelly Killingsworth. The question: It is finally time to make a smart business decision to move out of California. Do I move now before I'm invested or grind it out? And this is a construction company and they're moving towards heavy equipment operations. California is not getting any better. I feel it's going to get worse tax-wise and going to get difficult to maintain or even grow a business. And I feel I could possibly be more profitable in another state, say North Dakota. I don't want to buy expensive equipment to then make decent money only to give 54% of my earnings back to California. Business-wise, to grow into 7 figures. California doesn't seem safe to do so. Please, mentors, shed some guidance on this subject. Well, Sean and I had dinner with a fireman from Reno a couple of weeks ago, and he said 11,000 people a month were moving from the Bay Area into Reno across the line. And I don't know anything about South Dakota, but I do know that these states charge no income tax and have a low cost of living. Alaska, Nevada, Texas, Tennessee, where we live, and Florida. And those states charge no income tax. So if you're trying to get to a lower tax place, those are good ideas. Then the next thing you should look at, since you're in the construction business, is where are projected growth going to go in those states. We know in Tennessee that we're growing rapidly. We know that the Dallas area of Texas is growing rapidly. We know there are areas in Florida that are growing rapidly. But anyway, I'd do the research on that. But if you ask me off the top of my head, would I move my construction business? I would. I definitely would, because you are the rest of your life going to be paying more and more taxes. California is horribly in debt, and the only way they can get out of debt is to tax their way out of it. So I think you're going to have to really consider that strongly. Okay? Next. This is from Michael Pliley, and he asks, how do you know how to hire next, a service manager or a salesperson? He goes on, we've taken a big hit this year. I need both positions, but I need more sales to keep a service manager busy. Where can I find a salesperson and make sure they are a good fit for my team and my needs? Could it be possible to find a person that could do both positions until they only fill the service position? So, Michael, first of all, I wouldn't hire somebody to do two jobs. It doesn't make sense. I've never seen a salesperson who is effective or as effective as they should be doing two jobs. They're either in sales or they're going to do customer service. And if you hire a service manager, would that give you more time as the owner to sell? If it would, perhaps that's a good solution. If not, if you feel more comfortable doing the service than doing the selling, then you should hire a salesperson. So, I don't know if you all saw that, but something just popped on my screen and I accepted it. Anyway, so let's talk a minute about hiring a salesperson, because that's the real question. First of all, you need to get a job profile. In other words, this is what the job is. This is the job description. This is my expectations, both in terms of activity and results. Then you need to get a salesperson or a service manager profile. What do you want in the person that you're going to hire? Education, personality, experience, those kind of things. And then once you have the profile and the job description, you can begin searching for that person, whether it's a salesperson or a service manager. And the thing you want to do is you want to run ads, then screen resumes. And when I screen resumes, I look at knockout factors. So for me, if somebody jumps jobs every year, that's a knockout factor. What could I possibly offer in my company that would keep them around for more than a year? Duh. You know, I look for inconsistencies. I look for the neatness of the resume, especially if I'm looking for somebody to be detail oriented. I look at those kind of things in determining, you know, whether I want to interview them or not. Then I do a phone screen, and I have a standard set of questions I ask. And then if they advance beyond the phone screen, I do an in-person meeting. I have another set of questions, and if possible, I have somebody else interview them to see if there's anything I miss. And then finally, we make the hiring decision or not. So I think if you get a process in place for hiring this person, it'll be a lot easier to make your decision, okay? So thanks for the question, Michael. Okay, this is from Alexander Lee, and the question he asks is, given only 2 hours per day, what are the most impactful things you would do each day over the next year to grow a brand new fitness training business? Now, everybody listen to this, because it's an interesting situation that Alexander is in. I'm a fitness trainer for golfers and looking to grow. I'm brand new to the industry and only have one client. I have a full-time job, one part-time job. I do this for personal growth. I'm building a house, manage properties, and have a family. I have so little time, but I'm determined to grow this golf fitness business. My wife tells me I need to give up some things. How do I maximize my 2 hours per day that I can spend on my golf fitness passion? My ultimate goal is to leave my full-time job. Okay? So Alexander, you should listen to your wife. Most people are not good at doing a lot of different things. Most people are good at doing one thing and one thing only. At the most, two things. I could understand if you had a 9-to-5 job, going to the job, and then after work, working on your dream. But working 9 to 5, managing properties, trying to spend time with your family, and do personal training is a little bit beyond reasonable, I think. And so my advice is to get rid of something. Now, how would I use 2 hours a day if that's all I had to build a business? I would use it on outreach. I would use it on phone calls to golfers. I would use it on emails to golfers. I would use it on phone calls to golf clubs. I would use it on emails to golf clubs, pro shops, all those kind of things. I would do outbound until I filled up my 2 hours a day with golfers who wanted me to train them. But if that's your goal, then that's your business, then it's going to take more than 2 hours a day of golf training to make a living or to become financially independent, to get to the finish line at 65 and be able to pay your own bills. So I think because you have limited your time, your plan is flawed, okay? Next, we have a question from Gabrielle Suarez. Here's the question. What are some ways for finding qualified leads for my sales funnel during these COVID times? I have a franchise company. We sell a business model for all natural wellness specialty stores. We are new with 7 locations, and traditionally we counted on franchising trade shows and expos to find qualified leads and sell franchises. I figured as our footprint grew, we would get more organic leads, interest from visiting another store, landing on our website, etc. With all trade shows canceled and franchising being a new industry, I'm still learning every day about we are struggling to track down candidates that we can pitch our franchise to. Also note, because we sell CBD oil, we cannot advertise on any social media, Google, or most traditional methods. Okay? So, Gabrielle, you're selling franchises. I understand that. And I coach a company that sells franchises called Zivel, Z-I-V-E-L. And we've been challenged during this time too, because we have health remedies, float tubs, cryo chambers, infrared sauna, etc. And so it's been challenging for us too. But what we found is that we have to get a good prospect list. And a prospect list can be developed in any number of ways. If you go on LinkedIn and you Google franchise consulting, you'll find a list of people on there that do franchise consulting. And then you can look at what their comments are and learn a lot. And also then you can go to their websites and learn a lot. But basically, these people are helping people like you sell your franchises. And of course, you pay them a commission for that, but you probably would pay a commission anyway. And then the other thing that I would do is I would find out the people that are interested in the franchise. So Entrepreneur Magazine is the #1 magazine for franchises in the United States. And if you're not online with Entrepreneur Magazine, I don't even know if they print anymore, I just get it online. You should, because it is full of information on franchises and the value of franchises. And I think reading what other franchises are doing and saying will also help you do that. But you've got to get a prospect list. And I frankly don't know how to tell you to get a prospect list for people that want to buy franchises, but there are people that are specialists out there who can help you with that. But you have to do the work. You have to go online and find those. And I might just say this too. I coach several members of AO, and it's always surprising to me that I go online and immediately find out something about their business that they didn't know. The internet, I don't know if you guys know about it, but the internet is full of information about your business. And all you have to do, there's this app called Google. All you have to do is Google it, and you'll be able to find that information, So anyway, it's just a tip. But most people don't do the work. They don't think I'm going to go online and find out everything I can about my business and about how other people are selling similar services, okay? The next question is from Joe Nugent. Hey, Joe. I'm looking to hire a part-time salesperson for my home inspection company, and I'm having a challenge with determining how to pay their commission. Not sure if I do a flat fee or a percentage of the sale to make it win-win. So I'm not sure what a part-time salesperson is. It seems to me they're either a full-time salesperson or they're not a salesperson. But if you're thinking you're going to hire a part-time salesperson and pay them hourly, I don't think you'll get a very good salesperson. I think you're going to have to pay a commission. And in fact, if you can show a salesperson that by working 60 hours a week, they can make a significant living from your business, then you should hire them full time. And you should structure the commission so that you make a profit, but at the same time, the salesperson is well paid too. So there's something in business called a CAC. It's the customer acquisition cost. How much does it cost to acquire a customer? So right now you have a CAC, you have a cost of acquisition of a customer. And you should look at that and then ask yourself, if somebody else brings me a customer, what would I be willing to pay? That would be your salesperson. And so I don't know the home inspection business. I don't know that business very well, but I think you would be interacting with realtors and you would be interacting with homeowners that just reach out to you through referral or through your website. And if that's the case, then you certainly put a salesperson to work calling on realtors and soliciting their business, and at the same time, other people that may need home inspections. Okay? So I hope that helps. Okay? Lindsay Grifka is the next questioner. She says, what are tips you use to negotiate? So I'm hiring independent contractors to promote my products, and I'm negotiating what they will do and how much I will pay them. I need some good general negotiating tips so that I can get more bang for my buck. At Bling Bunce, we break stereotypes, promote self-expression and confidence by offering innovative and chic personal storage containers that are high fashion, functional, and discreet, so our Cana family can enjoy themselves to the fullest without critique or judgment. Try our smell-resistant, airtight, child-proof, and reusable containers today. Okay? So, are you asking yourself, what does she sell? Because when I read that, I was. And so I think that she calls that her elevator pitch. We all need one. But remember this about an elevator pitch. It needs to be simple. It needs to be clear. It doesn't need to have a lot of adjectives in it. It just needs to be clear so that people understand what your business is. But assuming she's selling containers for storage that are airtight and childproof, then she's negotiating people to sell those containers. So here are some tips on negotiating, okay? First of all, know what you want to get. And if you're doing it on phone, which we all are now because of COVID, then I would have what I want from the person I'm negotiating with written on a piece of paper in front of me so that I don't lose sight of that. Also, I would know the maximum that I'm willing to give in the negotiation. So I would have pre-thought, this is where I want to end up at the worst. And if I have to end up worse than that, then I'm not going to engage with this particular independent contractor. And so if you lay the framework out in your mind before you start, you're going to negotiate better. Another tip on negotiating is that you don't bid against yourself. So in other words, you say, I'm going to pay you 10% commission. And the person you're negotiating with says, that's not enough. You don't say, how about 12? How about 15? You say, what were you thinking would be a fair commission? They give you a number, and then you decide if you can live with that number, or if you want to say, I can't live with that. However, I can live with 12%. Can we do business at 12%? But anyway, don't bid against yourself. Find out from the person you're negotiating with what they want and what their limits are. And the clearer the understanding for that, the closer you will be to getting a compromise that you both can live with. Okay? I hope that helps. Next, This is Alyssa. Hey, Alyssa, I sent you an email this morning. Tambasi, cool last name. If in face-to-face meetings for sales are not available right now, what other ways would you prospect in order to get in front of people to sell your services? Well, I have this business. We sell software to banks, and we have 12 people who go out face-to-face and sell software to banks. We have another dozen or so inside salespeople that are selling over the phone. And because we can't go out face-to-face, our field salespeople are all forced inside. And last month, with no face-to-face meetings, we had our best month of the year. So I found that interesting because what it says is that we can do business over the phone. We can do business in Zoom meetings. And so I don't think that being in person with somebody is determinant of whether you make the sale or not. Now, I understand your service has to be in person. And let me read that. I have a consulting business to prepare clients' life documents. My original plan was to market myself at HOA communities, assisted livings, and nursing homes due to COVID. I had to reevaluate that idea, so I did. I made tons of cold calls to many of those above mentioned places. I've had a lot of great feedback on the phone, but in the beginning it seems people never quite understand what my business entails. Many of them love my idea, and if they couldn't meet with me, they told me to mail the information. I did just that. I follow up with them and nothing. The other ones I actually did meet with in person, and they all said they would spread my info around their communities. The other communities, I've left voicemails and I never get a response after the meeting. Because my business is sensitive and unique, I don't feel like cold calling is working for me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have had the business since May and still haven't gotten my first client. I also feel that if I walk into places to market myself right now, I will get denied due to the virus. With that being said, I would much rather be face-to-face with people. So her elevator pitch: my services prepare all of my clients' life documents. We work together to create a unique, customized book to host everything from wills, funeral arrangements, tax, insurance, auto and home, and more. My services intend to lift much of the stress on families after a loved one passes away. So I understand Alyssa's business. I think you all do too. She's helping people get organized with their personal documents and putting them in a paper format where people have easy access to them, and especially in a time of tragedy where someone has passed away, this can be of value. So what she's having trouble with is selling that service, right? And so, Alyssa, I have to ask if you have a sales system. It's hard for me to imagine that you have a sales system, because it sounds like what you're doing is, in terms of sales, not properly organized. So a sales system entails getting a prospect list, having a script for the phone approach, having a script for answers to objections to meeting with you, having a very organized scripted presentation of your product and services, the answers to objections about your products and services, a competitive price, a follow-up routine, and a clear sales cycle. So you need all those things. And if you get all those things, I think you'll start seeing better results. I hope that helps answer your question. If I can help you in any other way, please feel free to ask. Thank you. Okay, my last question is from Lindsay Grifka. Should I buy an email list or continue to research and create on my own? I've been creating an email list of smoke shops on my own and with the help of my sister. It's a slow process, but by doing it this way, I ensure that the companies I reach out to carry other brands rather than just their own. I would use the email list to send cold emails to see if the brand is interested in carrying my product. Here's her elevator pitch. At Bling Bunts, we break stereotypes and promote self-expression and confidence by offering innovative and, I'm sorry, but that somehow got put on her questionnaire, which I don't think is the right elevator pitch. But anyway, so I get what Lindsay's doing. She's selling products to smoke shops, and she wants to make sure that the emails are good. First of all, I wouldn't buy an email list. It's very difficult to buy an email list. However, I've had several members of the group use a individual who will go and research the smoke shops and the emails for the smoke shops at a very reasonable price. And so, just to give you some names. So, Abraham, Marcos used them, Law, Jackson used them, and you can just message them to find out how they put together these email lists. But buying a list is not good. Eric Landino bought an email list, and none of the emails were any good. So when he put it in MailChimp shut him down. So you have to be sure those emails are accurate. And you can do it yourself, or you can get somebody else to do it, but I wouldn't buy a list, okay? Good. So those are all the questions I have today, and I hope I helped some people out there. I would just say this, that selling is a system. And if you don't have a system, get one, because you will be ineffective, or you will be less effective than you could be if you'll just put a system into your business, okay? So everybody, thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next month unless I'm talking to you as a coach. Bye.